Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Shadow Zapdos. Now, this is a viewer submission, courtesy of fellow content creator Ganeto. So many thanks to Ganeto for the battle submissions, and there is a link to Ganeto's YouTube channel in the description. Please do go check him out. He puts out some very, very good content, very fun teams, and he is a very talented battler. So again, many thanks to Ganeto, and do go give him a follow on YouTube. Link to his channel in the description. And as mentioned, Ganeto is showcasing Zapdos in the back on a very solid team. Shadow Zapdos has a lot of solid play. It can hit most things in the Open Great League for either neutral or super effective damage. And Ganeto is pairing Zapdos with Medicham and Drapion on the safe swap. Drapion on the safe swap is here to draw out any potential Galarian Stunfisks that may be lurking in the back, allowing Medicham to come back in, farm down, and the goal of this team is to preserve a shield advantage for Zapdos to perhaps close the game strong. Big thanks to Ganeto once again for the battle submission. I am excited to see what Zapdos can do in the Great League on this team. And here we go. Not a great lead. Going to safe swap into Drapion. Pidgeot is not a good answer for Medicham at all, although Medicham can do neutral damage with the counter fast move pressure. Going to pressure with a crunch and does grab an early shield from the Pidgeot. And Ganeto gonna call this, could be a Brave Bird, but no, successfully calling the Feather Dance bait. It does drop the attack by 2 stages, and this Pidgeot is staying in. So it makes me wonder what they have in the back. Gonna go for another crunch, and they of course can tank this much more comfortably after lowering the attack. Ganeto gonna let Drapion go and preserve the shield advantage and come back in with the Medicham, and they've got a Cofagrigus in the back. Okay, so the opponent clearly does not like Medicham one bit. Already 2 amazing answers to it. Gonna call this, and that was a very gutsy call. It is just a Dark Pulse, although Shadow Ball would not have quite KO'd. Gonna bait with an Ice Punch and no shield. The opponent successfully calling the bait. Gonna aggro swap into Zapdos and try and make something happen here. Going to shield up the potential Shadow Ball here. It is a Dark Pulse. And going to build up to the back-to-back, probably anticipating a catch. And I'm going to look to bait with a Drill Peck here. And they do shield, so holy smokes, what is in the back? My goodness, Ganeto did have the back-to-back. So this Drill Peck will be taking out the Cofagrigus. And now the opponent is thinking long and hard. Oh, it's a Trevenant. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. Zapdos is about to feast. My goodness, we get to this Drill Peck. We're saying bye-bye to the Trevenant. And the Pidgeot does concede. Good game, well played. My goodness. Shadow Zapdos proving to be one of the stronger closers in the Open Great League. And here we go. Picking up a solid lead in the form of Galarian Stunfisk. They aggro swap into a Shadow Gliscor and going to meet this with the Drapion running Aqua Tail. Drapion does outpace to these super effective Aqua Tails, and they do quite a bit as Shadow Gliscor in the Great League on the squishier side. And Drapion super spammy, already to another Aqua Tail. I would imagine gets the shield, and it does. And this could be an EQ, so Ganeto going to shield out of caution. Really needs the alignment here, knowing that there is a Galarian Stunfisk on this opponent's team. And now gonna call this likely another Night Slash bait, and it is. And holy smokes, Gliscor is so spammy with the newly updated Wing Attack, getting to another Night Slash, and because this Drapion is a Shadow, that would threaten a KO. But Ganeto is at nearly back-to-back Aqua Tails. I can't imagine the opponent going down on shields, and they don't. They do let it go. And Drapion is just 1 Poison Sting off from the next Aqua Tail. And of course, G-Fisk can very comfortably tank this. And I would imagine look to farm down. This is definitely farm down range. And they do get the farm down. Gonna, of course, come right back in with the Medicham. They are down on shields. And oh, they've got a Noctowl in the back. But the Zapdos does not have any shields. Holy smokes. Oh, this is getting a little sweaty here. Does tank a Shadow Ball, but gonna need to take out this Noctowl to have any chance of trying to pull this out. So gonna bait with a Drill Peck. He is at the back-to-back, and they call the bait. Holy smokes. That's an insane call by the opponent. Holy smokes. Gonna just go for the next Drill Peck and does grab the shield. But this is a rank 3 Medicham, and rank 3 Medi wins CMP tie over most Noctowls, which means that we are saying bye-bye to the Noctowl. Had that Ice Punch stored, and now it is looking to be smooth sailing from here. This is why I personally prefer the rank 3 Medi myself. That is what I run, for the reasons that we just saw. And this is just about nighty-night, sleep tight for this G-Fisk. We are saying bye-bye to the G-Fisk. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Man, Ganetto has me wanting to dust off my Shadow Zapdos and give it a go in the Great League. And here we go. Positive lead, Basti, and they do make a play into a Shadow Vic. A little slow on the swap. Wanted to store up some energy and making the play into Drapion. This is a Shadow, so this Crunch could KO, and it does. They no-shield the Crunch, likely sleeping on the power of Drapion. And just like that, the annoying Shadow Victory Bell is gone, and they do, of course, come back in with the Basti. And Drapion has an Aqua Tail locked and loaded for the Bastiodon. There is no flipping this, but the Aqua Tails do add up. Drapion thoroughly outpacing the Bastiodon. And all of this farm, I do imagine, as the opponent will farm down, will go to waste on the Medicham that will likely come back in. Ganetto getting to yet another Aqua Tail. It will not KO, but every little bit of damage adds up and counts when we are faced up against a Bastiodon, and they do farm all the way down. Gonna throw Medi back in here. Medi absolutely tanks a Flamethrower, no problem from the Basti. And they've got a Medicham of their own in the back. So going to look to chip with an Ice Punch. And then I would imagine bring Zapdos in to feast on this Medicham. And the beauty of this matchup here, guys, is most people these days with the Bastiodon Medicham core, they're not running the right moveset on Medi. They're running Power Up Punch Psychic, which is all that much better for Zapdos, as there is very little threat of being hit with super effective damage. And Zapdos will be doing just fine here. This is just another resisted power-up punch. What a shame. I bet the Medi is wishing it had the Ice Punch right about now. Gonna just build up to the back-to-back Drill Pecks here. And go for Drill Peck number 1. If the opponent wants to put up a fight, they will likely shield. And they do. Likely looking to go down with the ship. But it will not help them one bit. We are saying bye-bye to the Medicham. And Medi's gonna gobble up that Basti. Good game, well played. Shadow Zapdos proving to be a very solid cover for Medicham in the Great League. And here we go, Shadow Dragonair, very neutral lead for Medicham. And of course, Ganetto is running the correct moveset on Medicham and has the ability to fight back with super effective Ice Punches. So Dragonair does get to a move, does win CMP tie. Gonna let the Body Slam go. Medi tanks that quite comfortably and gonna fire back with an Ice Punch here. I do imagine this gets the shield. It would do a boatload of damage. And now gonna pivot into Drapion to likely draw out a potential Steel type. As Dragonair leads, generally have a Steel in the back to cover the Charmers. And they go Aqua Tail there and catch the Crunch onto a Registeel. So not a G-Fisk, it is a Registeel, and that is absolutely fine, as Medicham can still put in work against the Registeel. But so can Drapion, making it to a Crunch. I don't imagine Registeel shields this. They tank that no problem. And the Registeel is at a move, but it looks like they're going for an aggressive farm down. Holy smokes, allowing Ganetto to get to yet another Crunch, and they do shield. That would have been lights out for the Regi. And they are fully committed to that farm down. Holy smokes, that was insane. So now Ganetto thinking a little bit, calculating, and going to throw Medicham in, and chooses to no shield. Going to sacrifice Medi and put the hope and faith into Zapdos to perhaps pull this off up 2 shields. Holy smokes. And these Thunder Shocks are really adding up. Ganetto can get this farm down. Going to shield up the potential Focus Blast as they did not make it to a Zap Cannon. They did not kind of panic through there a little bit. And they do throw the Dragonair back in. The Drill Peck does take out the Dragonair. And oh, they've got a Noctowl in the back. Holy smokes. You absolutely love to see this if you are Zapdos. We get to this Thunderbolt and we are saying bye-bye to the Noctowl. And the Reggie does concede. Good game, well played. My goodness, Shadow Zapdos absolutely laying waste to the Open Great League. You love to see it. And you also love to see a lead like this. Had a G-Fisk on the lead. They make a play into Drapion and going to look to mirror with the Drapion of his own here. So, does have Aqua Tail, so it will hit the opposing Drapion for neutral. But because Ganetto is running a Shadow Drapion, even the resisted damage will begin to add up, allowing the opposing Drapion to actually keep pace in terms of damage output up against Ganetto's Drapion. But Ganetto does outpace to the Aqua Tails and going to go for Aqua Tail number 2 here. And they do let that go. So now another move would not quite KO, would get them into the low red. So going to shield out of caution. It is a crunch, but no defense drop. So that is huge. Going to look to put the Drapion out of its misery with yet another Aqua Tail, hoping that the opponent takes the shield advantage, but they don't. They know that they also need the flip switch. So they do return the shield in kind. And now Ganetto does not want to go down on shields, knowing that there is a Shadow Zapdos, and they simul KO. Oh no, Ganetto had the Aqua Tail, but just couldn't quite get it off. That is okay. So now it's a big guessing game. Who aligns appropriately? Ganetto gets the alignment, making the right call, bringing in the Zapdos. And they catch onto a Stunfisk, so holy smokes, what a catch by the opponent. Oh man, so now Ganetto's going to farm up and get that energy right back and try to catch on to the Medi, but no such luck. The opponent likely suspecting that, they hang on to the energy. What a call by the opponent. They do go for the EQ. Medi tanks that, no problem. And now going to look to build up to back-to-back Ice Punches and go for Ice Punch number 1 here. This will be KOing the G-Fisk, and now it is looking like smooth sailing. They are at a Seed Bomb, but I think Medi tanks this. I think Medi hangs on by a thread, and it does! Long enough to put the pressure on with an Ice Punch. The opponent can let this go, knowing that they do tank it, and they do. But Zapdos did have a Drill Peck stored and building up to the back-to-back. Gonna go for Drill Peck number 1 here. I do imagine this gets the shield if they want to put up a fight. They do. But Ganetto had another Drill Peck locked and loaded, as we say. Bye-bye to the Trevenant. That's going to be a good game. Well played. And Zapdos closing the games in dominant fashion, left, right, and center. Big thanks to Ganetto once again for the submission. And here we go, Medicham mirror on the lead here. This is going to come down to IVs. That's going to determine if you want to stay in on this lead or not. If you win CMP tie, you'll want to stay in. If not, you're going to want to have to swap out at some point. Grabbing the early shield from the opponent, that means that they're likely weak to a Medicham in the back, as many Medicham leads can compared with at least one Steel type in the back. Ganetto successfully calling the Ice Punch and looking to catch. Seeing the opponent shield early, that's a good read by Ganetto to catch this move, to draw out the Steel type. There it is. It comes in the form of Galarian Stunfisk. That is why Drapion is on this team, and that is also why it is running Aqua Tail, to draw out the G-Fisk and really spam off super effective damage. Drapion so spammy, already to yet another Aqua Tail. G-Fisk can tank this, but they will have a hard time tanking a third one. The opponent knows that. They are not able to overfarm by very much at all. The Rock Slide does KO, so Ganetto can easily realign the Medicham right back onto the G-Fisk. And they are at a potential EQ. Oh, gonna call it, and it is the EQ. Oh my goodness, that is unfortunate. Because Zapdos is gonna have a very difficult time farming this G-Fisk down with Thundershocks, excuse me. And they do pressure a shield with a Rock Slide, and they've got an Altaria in the back. So looking a little rough here, as Altaria is quite bulky, can tank this neutral damage pretty comfortably, and the Dragon Breaths with Stab really do add up on Shadow Zapdos here. But Ganetto is at 2 Drill Pecks. Has the back-to-back, gonna go for yet another Drill Peck. That is the way to go when shields are up, as it does hit for neutral, just as Thunderbolt would. I'm gonna look to farm the Altaria down. The Medi is still alive and kicking in the back and does still have a shield, so Ganetto gonna go for the Drill Peck here. They do shield and has another one locked and loaded, but the question is, can Ganetto get the farm down? We say bye-bye to the Medi, and now that is the big question. Can he can't quite farm down. Good game, well played. And Ganetto playing masterfully with Zapdos in the Great League. Such a treat. Thanks again to Ganetto for the submission. And here we go. Azu lead, swapping in the Drapion, not running Sludge Bomb, but the opponent does not know that. I likely assume that they had Sludge Bomb, because why else would Drapion swap in if it didn't have it? But Ganetto pulled the wool over the opponent's eyes. That worked out beautifully. And they are here and on the Drapion with a Scrafty, and Scrafty just goes straight Power Up Punch, boosting up that counter damage. And the Aqua Tails are starting to add up as Ganetto gets to these so fast, now pressuring shields from the Scrafty. That is insane. But the Scrafty does live another Aqua Tail and does get the farm down. The Scrafty is loaded. Gonna throw Medi back in. And they are at a potential boosted foul play, but Medi can tank that. Ganetto electing to save the shields for Zapdos, especially knowing that there's an Azu. And there is also a Sableye in the back, so Azu Double Dark, very interesting team. So Zapdos can do quite all right here, does have the shield advantage, going for the big Thunderbolt, but unfortunately the opponent shields. That is quite the call from the opponent. And Ganetto, of course, going to shield up the foul play. Foul play would KO from this range. And going to go for yet another Thunderbolt on the Sableye. I do imagine this would KO. It does! And now things are looking pretty good for Ganetto with the Zapdos. Going to make it to the Thunderbolt. I'm not sure if this quite KOs, as Azu is quite tanky, but it would be getting it quite low, doing big damage. And now Medicham could easily clean up. Good game, well played. Zapdos team working to perfection. You absolutely love to see it. What you don't love to see is a lead like this. We've got a Tapu Fini going to make a play in the Drapion. Pull the wool over the opponent's eyes yet again. No Sludge Bomb, but the opponent does not know that. What a slick play. I like it. I like it. Drawing out the G-Fisk. And again, just like we saw in that previous battle, these Aqua Tails really add up. G-Fisk cannot tank more than 3 of these Aqua Tails. They will have to throw. They are not farming down. They're not going to be able to over-farm by much either. Could be an EQ, but they go Rock Slide. They tried baiting. Holy smokes, allowing Ganetto to get off yet another Aqua Tail. If they want to hold on the switch, they absolutely have to shield this. And that is the power of Drapion in the Great League. Holy smokes. And they don't even get to farm down. They're just going to throw immediately. So far, so good. Medi's just going to come in, counter down the G-Fisk. And I do imagine they come back in. Oh, no, they have a Noctowl. They come in with the Noctowl straight away. And holy smokes, the opponent is absolutely core broken by Shadow Zapdos. Holy smokes. Zapdos is about to feast on the remainder of this team. My goodness, the shields are now even. Had to shield up the Surf and going to look to bait with a Drill Peck. If they want to try and win this, they should shield out of caution, and they do, allowing Ganetto to successfully bait. We get to this Thunderbolt, and we are saying bye-bye to the Tapu Fini. And holy smokes, Ganetto is still up a shield, resisting this fast move pressure from the Noctowl. Can safely shield up this potentially resisted Sky Attack and get to the Thunderbolt. Oh my goodness, Zapdos. What a closer in the Great League. My goodness, this is absolutely going to be KOing. And my goodness, good game, well played. 2 shield Zapdos, OP. Holy smokes, who would have thought? My goodness, I think it's all the team. The team really does mesh well together. But here we go, Mew on the lead. Nice shiny Mew. This is not a good lead. Should probably be swapping out immediately here. But gonna pressure with an Ice Punch here, and still staying in a little bit, building up, and gonna look to catch on to Drapion. But I do, it is a bit concerning. That was a lot of Shadow Claw damage for Medi to take. And they do throw the, does successfully catch, and they do come in with a Lantern, excuse me. So all you do is go straight crunch. You do have that 30% chance to drop the defense, and Ganetto does get the defense drop on the very tanky Lantern, which is never a bad thing. And I would imagine, yeah, gonna shield actually. I was thinking that maybe preserve the shields, but yeah, gonna look to get the Lantern a little bit lower here, and now starting to grab shields from the opposing Lantern. I don't imagine Ganetto shields this. The damage has been done. The defense has been dropped. I think you can safely come back in with Medi and look to farm down. And that is exactly what he's looking to do here. Medi does tank one of whatever Lantern wants to throw here. It is the Thunderbolt. Medi tanks that quite comfortably. They aggro swap back into the Mew, so gonna put the pressure on with an Ice Punch. Mew, not known for its bulk, but the opponent does let that go, and now it is Zapdos time. Shields are even. Gonna shield this up out of caution. Could absolutely be a wild charge, and even neutral would one-shot Zapdos, as Zapdos is not known for its bulk, especially in the Shadow form, and this is just a Surf. Tanks that quite comfortably. And they've got a Noctowl in the back, so Zapdos is absolutely loaded. No baiting here, not gonna bait, just gonna full send the Thunderbolt. If it lands, it will KO, and holy smokes, they let that go. One-shotting the Noctowl. Goodbye, Noctowl. And now the Lantern absolutely has to shield to resist the Drill Peck and will likely farm down. But I don't think that they are out of move, and Medi gets the counter down. Holy smokes. What a battle. What a team. That about wraps it up. My goodness. Ganetto absolutely put in work with the Shadow Zapdos. Again, many thanks yet again for the battle submissions, guys. Again, Ganetto, fellow content creator, was kind enough to share these battles with us. Link to his YouTube channel in the description. If you want to see more fun battles like this one, definitely go head over to his channel. Check him out. Give him a follow. Very talented trainer. Again, thanks again to Ganetto for the battle submissions. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.